But in the last bit of news before we get into our interview with Matt here, thank you for your patience as we get through the news here. Because this last one's pretty big, or has the potential to be big. It's exciting if nothing
Right.
else. There have been some new Yooka Laylee screenshots and info released. Yooka Laylee, you may remember, is from the Rare developers and designers, most famous for Banjo-Kazooie. That's what Yooka Laylee takes the most inspiration from, is kind of that Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's, Bad Fur Day.
Now known as Platonic.
Yeah, now known as Platonic Studios. They also did like GoldenEye back in the day on the N64, so they have a wide palette. So brand new Yooka Laylee screenshots and info have been revealed via their blog. The team mentioned that in the past year, the Platonic team has tripled in size, moved office, and quietly slaved away on the final form. And I love following them on Twitter. They're always tweeting out little updates.
Yeah.
Nothing big, but they're a very fun studio. The team did admit that they're not ready to release the game's final day and date release date, but they're getting pretty close. Maybe we'll get some more news at E3. The team explains that the buddy duo will purchase and unlock moves from the Serpent Salesman Trouser, the Trouser Snake, and which they can choose to do virtually any order that the player decides. And they've kind of talked about that in the past, that it's like kind of an open world Banjo-Kazooie in some really cool ways. And that the two supporting characters are the hapless, multi-limbed scientist Dr. Puzz and her traitorous former colleague Dr. Quack.
I think we should probably also mention that the plot for the game is like basically a jab at Microsoft.
Oh, really?
Buying him. Well, it's like the guy is capital B, I believe is the main villain's name, and he's collecting all of the literature. He's gathering all of the literature around the world that they have, and he's trying to convert it to pure profit. And so you're just trying to like, I guess you're trying to save all the literatures before he can get to all of them, or you're trying to save them.
Yeah.
So it is kind of they didn't come right out and say it, but it just seems a lot of are speculating. It sounds basically like a jab at Microsoft.
Oh yeah, and then they do have you have here in the notes, so they're going to reveal more information via Edge magazine on May 26th, which is just coming up soon.
Yeah,
I think it's this week.
Yep.
And then more at E3. So yeah, I'm so excited for this game. I wrote like an editorial about it, about like how it can maybe revive like that kind of 3D platforming. A lot of people were complaining that we didn't get like a Mario platformer, like a 3D platformer really this generation beyond 3D World. And beyond that, I mean, we had like Ratchet and Clank and stuff, but I mean, for the most part, back in the day, you had like Crash, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Super Mario, you had Sonic Adventure. I mean, everything was a 3D platformer, and nowadays you just don't really see that. It's, I mean, very much so like a genre that's laying dormant right now.
Right.
And hopefully this can kind of bring that back, and especially just, I mean, it's Rare, it's that studio, it's Platonic, it's just going to be so whimsical. I mean, you have Trouser, and you have that story that you just talked about, which, I mean, whether it's intentional or not, you know, I mean, it's just a clever story. Like, it's some sort of, like, attacking, like, you know, that concept of restricting art, maybe, and so...
Yeah, it's a universal kind of theme.
Yeah, and so, very, very excited to get more information on that, and I think they're targeting an October release, was the initial Kickstarter. They completely funded the game by Kickstarter, and hit their milestones, like, in a day, I think.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't have the money to support it, but definitely going to be picking that up.